Welcome to Prudent Psychology 101. Today we are going to learn about Spearman's two-factor theory of intelligence. Charles Edward Spearman, he did epoch-making study in 1904. Introduction to Spearman's theory of intelligence. Charles Edward Spearman was an influential psychologist who developed commonly used statistical measures and the statistical method known as factor analysis. In 1904, Spearman published General Intelligence, Objectively Determined and Measured. He introduced factor analysis and attempted to determine the factors that were measured by intelligence tests. Using statistical methods, Spearman found that the general intelligence factor G was associated with mental processes that were distinct from memory, physical abilities, and the senses. His historical significance can be seen in the development of the factor analytical method and in its explicit use for the first time. Spearman 1927 elaborated and revised his work in The Abilities of Man. Spearman proposed that his two-factor theory has two components. The English psychologist Charles Spearman, 1863 to 1945, in 1904 proposed his theory of intelligence called two-factor theory. According to him, intellectual abilities are comprised of two factors, namely the general ability known as G factor and specific abilities known as S factor. G factor being the central unit. Now let's look at in detail what these two factors are. Spearman originally came up with the term general intelligence, or as he called it G, to measure intelligence in his two-factor theory on intelligence. Spearman first researched in an experiment with 24 children from a small village school, measuring three intellectual measures based on teachers' rankings to address intellectual and sensory as the two different sets of measure: school cleverness, common sense A, and common sense B. Spearman proposed that intellectual and sensory measure to be combined as assessment of general intelligence. The second factor he named S for specific ability. Regarding G, Spearman saw individuals as having more or less general intelligence, while S varied from person to person on a task. To visualize G, imagine a Venn diagram with four circles overlapping. In the middle of the overlapping circles would be G, which influences all the specific intelligences, while S is represented by the four circles. Though the specific number of S factors are unknown, a few have been relatively accepted: mechanical, spatial, logical, and arithmetical. Many researchers are currently using Spearman's form of intelligence testing in their current studies. Spearman described that there was a functional relationship between intelligence and sensory discriminatory abilities. Recent research has determined that there is an overlap between working memory, general discriminatory abilities, and fluid intelligence. His work has been built on, expanded, and linked to many other factors related to intelligence. The G factor is still frequently studied in current research. With this, we come to an end of Spearman's theory of intelligence. Hope this really helped you. Thank you. Please do subscribe our channel, like it, and do comment so that we can serve you better. Thank you.